And I do make a distinction between an ideal buyer and an ideal client. So let me touch on that first, and then
Hmm.
we'll go back to the concept. So my belief is that an ideal buyer does not happen by accident. An ideal buyer comes to you, you identify them as an ideal buyer, and you take them on this buyer's journey until they're ready to buy. Once you start the onboarding process with a new client, in a sense, you're training them to be an ideal client. And that's why I say it doesn't happen by accident, and it is a process. And part of that is about setting and managing expectations. So if you have regular business hours and you don't want people calling you after hours, then you need to set that expectation and enforce it and make sure that you've communicated that clearly. There are lots of other examples of things that you may want to set up as boundaries or parameters that you want your new client to understand. And they may do something similar. When I start with a new client, I always ask, how do they prefer to communicate? Because there are so many channels now that we can use in addition to the old fashioned phone. Of course, we can text, we can use voice, I can do a Loom video. There's just so many options now in addition to email. So I always ask, what is their preferred channel of communication, timing, method? So it's really tuning into your buyer who becomes your client and making sure that you're setting good boundaries.